For me, every single day that this ban is in place, I know that it's saving lives.
I have opposed efforts to ban deadly weapons of war like the assault rifle used to carry out this crime.
Nobody can seriously argue that you have to have this kind of a weapon for self-defense.
The Illinois Supreme Court on the weapons ban. This morning, the court ruled the ban is constitutional.
The ban also faces legal challenges in federal court.
It has been happening everywhere all the time because you, Congress, have done nothing to prevent it.
Arm ban upheld. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision to uphold Illinois' ban on attack-style rifles and large-capacity mags represents a significant development in the ongoing national debate over arm control. The ban, known as the Protect Illinois Communities Act, was signed into law by Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker in January in response to a mass shooting in Highland Park in 2022. The law prohibits the sale and distribution of various high-powered semi-auto weapons, including AK-47 and AR-15 rifles, along with mags exceeding 10 rounds for long arms and 15 rounds for hand arms. Arm rights advocates, represented by the National Association for Arm Rights and an arms seller retailer, sought an injunction to block the enforcement of the state law and a similar ban in Naperville. The Supreme Court's denial of this request indicates a setback for those opposing stricter arm regulations. Notably, no justice publicly dissented from the decision. Governor Pritzker expressed satisfaction with the Supreme Court's action, emphasizing the potential for attack weapons ban to enhance public safety.
Assault weapons ban will remain law in Illinois, at least for now.
For me, every single day that this ban is in place, I know that it's saving lives.
I have opposed efforts to ban deadly weapons of war like the assault rifle used to carry out this crime.
It is preventing the next mass shooting, and it is critical to cut off the easy access to these weapons of war.
Nobody can seriously argue that you have to have this kind of a weapon for self-defense.
He criticized the armed lobby's legal maneuvers, asserting that the legislation, despite facing challenges, would contribute to a safer Illinois. The decision aligns with the broader trends of states, particularly those led by Democratic governors, implementing stricter arm control measures in response to escalating concerns about mass slayings and armed violence. The Supreme Court's refusal to intervene at this stage allows the legal challenge to proceed, with the ban remaining in effect during the litigation process. The case reflects the ongoing tension between advocates for arm rights, emphasizing Second Amendment protections, and proponents of stricter arm control measures who argue for public safety considerations. The court's decision to uphold the ban underscores the authority of states to enact regulations aimed at curbing the availability of certain arms and accessories, especially in the aftermath of high-profile instances of armed violence. As the legal challenge unfolds, it will continue to contribute to broader national discourse on arm control and the balance between individual rights and public safety. Supreme Court upholds Illinois' attack weapons ban. The legal battle surrounding the ban on attack-style rifles and large-capacity mags in Illinois has intensified, with the U.S. Supreme Court recently refusing to grant an injunction against the law. The law, known as the Protect Illinois Communities Act, was signed by Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker in January 2022 and seeks to prohibit the sale and distribution of various high-powered semi-auto weapons, including popular models like the AK-47 and AR-15, as well as mags with capacities exceeding 10 rounds for long arms and 15 rounds for hand arms. The National Association for Arm Rights, led by President Dudley Brown, and the Naperville-based firearms store, Law Weapons and Supply, along with its owner Robert Bevis, challenged the law, arguing that it infringes on the Second Amendment rights of citizens. The Supreme Court's decision to deny an injunction means that the ban will remain in effect while the legal challenge progresses. Existing arm owners are exempt from the ban, but are required to register their attack weapons with the state police by January 1, 2024. Governor Pritzker expressed confidence in the law's constitutionality, emphasizing its potential to enhance public safety. The legal battle has broader implications, as it reflects the ongoing struggle between arm rights advocates and those advocating for stricter arm control measures. The Supreme Court's decision not to intervene at this stage does not determine the final outcome of the case, but allows the legal challenge to proceed in lower courts. Arms rights proponents, including the National Association for Arms Rights, remain steadfast in their belief that the Second Amendment protects the rights of citizens to own commonly used firearms, while proponents of the ban emphasize the importance of public safety in restricting access to certain weapons.
That this bill would ban weapons that are in common use in the United States today.
Also, this bill was written with constitutionality in mind, so I definitely had a good feeling.
The Illinois Supreme Court on the assault weapons ban. This morning, the court ruled the ban is constitutional.
And others prompting the governor to put a public health order in place taking aim at gun violence.
Call on the United States Congress to ban was like the one used by the sick perpetrator of this mass killing.
The case underscores the complexity and sensitivity of the ongoing debate surrounding arm control in the United States, as legal battles continue to shape the landscape of arm regulations at both the state and federal levels. Legal battle over arms. The Illinois attack weapons ban, signed into law by Governor J.B. Pritzker in January, comes in response to a tragic massacre in Highland Park in 2022, where 7 people were slain and numerous others injured during an Independence Day parade. The law, known as the Protect Illinois Communities Act, prohibits the sale and distribution of various high-powered semi-auto attack weapons, including popular models like the AK-47 and AR-15 rifles. Additionally, it restricts the capacity of mags for long arms to 10 rounds and for hand arms to 15 rounds. Existing owners are given until January 1st, 2024 to register their attack weapons with state police. The National Association for Arms Rights and Law Weapons and Supply, a firearms retailer, sought an injunction to block the law's enforcement while challenging its constitutionality. However, the U.S. Supreme Court denied their request, leaving the ban intact for now. The court's decision is a setback for arms rights advocates, and while it doesn't address the merits of the case, it reflects the court's reluctance to intervene at this stage. Governor Pritzker welcomed the decision, emphasizing the law's potential to save lives and create a safer Illinois. The attack weapons ban allows existing owners to retain their arms, but introduces measures aimed at preventing future tragedies. The legal battle revolves around constitutional challenges, particularly Second Amendment rights. Arms rights advocates argue that commonly owned weapons are protected by the Second Amendment and that the ban infringes on citizens' rights to keep and bear arms. The case is part of a broader national conversation on arm control, especially in the aftermath of mass slayings that have occurred across the country. The Supreme Court's conservative majority, which has historically expanded arms rights, chose not to intervene at this juncture. This decision follows a trend set by the court's ruling last June, striking down New York State arm limits on carrying concealed firearms. The ruling established a legal standard that places a higher burden on lower courts to justify the constitutionality of new or existing arm regulations. Despite the court's conservative leaning, some states have taken individual action to address arm control concerns. With Congress yet to pass comprehensive arm control legislation, states have enacted various measures, leading to legal challenges on Second Amendment grounds. While the Illinois attack weapons ban is a state-level response to armed violence, the broader national debate on arm control remains a complex and contentious issue.
The High Court found that the ban does not violate constitutional rights.
This bill was written with constitutionality in mind. It was based on bills in other states where the same ban has been upheld.
The legislature can pass whatever it wants. It's just not going to stand up once it gets into the court.
The ban also faces legal challenges in federal court.
The court decision not to grant an injunction suggests a willingness to allow a legal process to unfold before addressing the constitutional questions raised by the challengers. Public reaction. The public reaction to the Supreme Court's official announcement to ban attack weapons and large-capacity mags in Illinois has been mixed, reflecting the deeply polarized nature of the ongoing arm control debate in the United States. Supporters of stricter arm control measures have lauded the decision as a crucial step towards enhancing public safety and preventing mass shootings. They argue that limiting access to high-powered semi-automatic rifles and large capacity mags can mitigate the severity of potential incidents of armed violence. Additionally, proponents of the ban contend that it aligns with the need to balance individual arm rights with broader concerns about public welfare. Conversely, opponents of the ban, particularly staunch defenders of Second Amendment rights, have expressed strong dissatisfaction and concern. Many argue that such measure infringe upon their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. They contend that law-abiding citizens should not face restrictions on owning commonly used firearms for self-defense and recreational purposes. Furthermore, critics assert that focusing on the weapons themselves does not address the root causes of armed violence, such as mental health issues or criminal activities.
Gun violence does not discriminate. It happens everywhere and all the time.
This ban has faced significant criticism from gun rights advocates and many county sheriffs.
It has been happening everywhere all the time because you, Congress, have done nothing to prevent it.
Here's the amount of gun violence that happened. I think we're reaching a tipping point where we're about to hit desensitization to gun violence.
And so I'm just grateful for the Illinois Supreme Court following along with precedent and doing the right thing.
Your right to own a gun can also be restricted.
The public discourse surrounding the ban extends beyond legal and constitutional arguments. Emotions run high on both sides, with some advocating for a more nuanced approach to arm control that considers various factors contributing to violence. Given the emotionally charged nature of the arm control debate in the U.S., public reaction encompasses a spectrum of opinions, ranging from those advocating for stricter measures to curb armed violence to those staunchly defending individual rights to firearm ownership. As the news continues to circulate and the implications of the ban became clear, it is likely that public discourse will remain a focal point in the ongoing national conversations about arm control. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.